drink. All right. Hey everyone, welcome back to our live. So today we are making Labouyi Farine. All right. So here's the thing. Um, Labouyi Farine is actually flour porridge. If you are if you have problems with gluten, I definitely recommend that you make it with all-purpose gluten-free flour. So Labouyi farine is one of those porridges that growing up in Haiti, we would have it as supper, but it's also served for breakfast. Um, Labouyi farine, not only that it's made as breakfast, as served as a breakfast meal, and also served as supper. This is one of those dishes if you are limited in funds. This is a perfect way to feed your family without having to worry about cost too much. It's one of the ways to make sure that the kids or whomever that's consuming it has enough energy to go through the day because it's starchy, right? It's not one that I would recommend that you have on a consistent basis because it's it's flour, and also because of the sugar that's in it. So there's a lot of reasons to why I would say not to consume it on a consistent basis. However, it is still good to serve as a treat and from time to time to serve it for breakfast. So it's one of those dishes where it's easy to make. You can make it as thick as you want and somewhat as liquidy as you want. If you wanted to have it like on the go breakfast, where you can make it on the stove top, pour it in your cup, and go out the door, get ready for work or for school. It's one also. Speaking of school, um, we sometimes serve it to our kids, and it's usually served with bread. You can grill the bread or not, but you can baste the bread with butter. Never peanut butter because it doesn't match well. All right. So it's also one of those porridges that's very popular in the Caribbean. Haiti makes it. Other countries in the Caribbean also makes it. How the methods that are used are different, and of course it varies from cook to cook or chefs to chefs, just like any other meal. Okay. So, like I said, there are many ways to make this. So this is our version, Savory Thoughts version. And any dish that you see here on the live that we are cooking together, if it is not yet on the blog, it will be on the blog at savorythoughts.com for you to make it for your family in the near future. Okay? So the main ingredients for making porridges or labouyi farine, of course, you need all-purpose flour. You can also use wheat flour, but then you are transferring into blé, which is, we'll get to that one in the near future. So I'll show you how to make that. However, for this recipe, we are going to use the staple ingredients and we're going to add a few things here and there, okay? So you definitely need all-purpose flour. You need cinnamon sticks. You also need star anise, but I don't have star anise right now. I do have our balance seasoning. Now, this right here is good with when you are making labouyi, when you are making cakes, when you are making chocolat, which is hot chocolate. When you are making coffee, it's really good with coffee. And also when you just want to spice up your tea, okay? So this is very versatile. Oh, it's also amazing with fish as well. I use it a lot when I am making salmon. So this is really good. So because I don't have the star anise, there's a lot of the warm spices that's in here that's going to transfer well into our laoui. Okay. Another thing that we are adding in is we're adding in lemon peel. You just need just a hint of flavor for lemon. You can use lemon or lime, okay? And we are also adding in bay leaves. In Haiti, I never saw bay leaves, but I was way too young as well. But here in America, we're going to add bay leaves. And you also need evaporated milk and of course water. Now the evaporated milk is what's going to give it that creamy texture. It's going to transform your dish into a nice, soothing, comforting dish, okay? And what else do we need? We need like a hint of salt. And we also going to use essence, which is vanilla extract. The one I'm using is the Haitian version. I really like this because it's richer in flavor, in my opinion. So some grocery stores do carry it. If not, check your international stores. They may carry it. Okay, that's where I got mine from. Or you can also get it from Amazon. All right, we don't carry this yet, but we hope to do so in the near future. Okay, so without further ado, let's get started. If you have any questions, let us know. We will try our best to answer it right here live, or if not, we will answer it in the comment section.
We're having an issue with comments.
Okay, and right now we're having issues with comments, but you can always email us at hello@savorythoughts.com. All right, so let's get started. So when you're making laoui, like I said, it is easy once you know exactly what you are doing, okay? So we are going to start off with boiling our water. So I am going to, in a medium pot, we are going to start heating up our pan and start adding in the water. And we're also going to add the cinnamon, and we are also going to add in the bay leaves as well as the lemon peel. All right, everything else is going to be reserved for later on because just like every other meal we make, you have to build on the flavor profile. All right, so here I have 4 cups of water that I'm going to let boil. So while the water is going to start boiling, you want it to get to that nice, rich, dark color. So we're going to add about a 1/4 cup teaspoon of salt. All right, should be enough. Okay, we're going to add in three cinnamon sticks. Okay. Again, if I had star anise, this is the time where I would be adding in the star anise, but because I don't, we're going to add in our bellons. So we're going to reserve that for later on. Okay. And then at this point, we are also going to add in our lemon peel. Okay. We're good. Be sure to wash your lemon first. So just going to add the lemon peel, and that's that. Okay, and we are also going to add 3 bay leaves for extra flavor. Oops. That's it. Voila. All right, so we're going to let this come to a boil. I may end up transferring it to the stovetop just to speed up the process, okay? Actually, let me do that now. Okay, so the next thing we are going to do is, you ready, babe? All right, so the next thing we are going to do is toast our flour, all right? And this is actually where I like the fact that we are using the balance, because we get to use the balance so many different ways. I'm going to show you. There's this guy on Instagram I follow. He teaches people on how to speak English, right? And every time he tries to teach something and he wants to say, okay, let me show you. You see how? Then he'll go, you don't see how? But you have to watch it, it's funny. So I do that a lot with my son. I try to do it with AJ, but sometimes he looks at me like I'm old. So my son is really good at that. He goes, you don't see how? I'm like, no, I don't see how. Do you see how? All right, I hope everyone is enjoying their Sunday. Hope you're having a blessed Sunday. Okay, so we're going to let this heat up, which is starting to heat up right now. And okay, I have regular all-purpose flour. And if you guys also end up making this dish, please let me know what you pair it with. At the end, we're going to pair it with French bread. We're going to toast the French bread slightly. And we're going to pair it with it. This is actually the traditional way to serve labouyi. So we are going to do that at the end. All right, so this is nice and hot for us. Okay, so that's nice and hot. So we are going to do 1 cup of all-purpose flour. Again, you just want it to lightly toast it, make it brown, just slightly. And we're going to do about 2 cups. Okay. Now this is going to be warm. It's going to be comforting. It's going to be one of those dishes that you want to make when it's cold outside, but you don't feel like having waffles or pancakes. You just want to have it and then finish it off with a nice glass water. You know, this is one of those dishes, okay? And also, this is another way to introduce Haitian food to your family and friends, something that's quick to make, something that's like a conversation starter. Okay. You know, here's a true story. So when my family used to make this, a lot of the times they used to make it because we were short on funds. And later on, come to find out that our family wasn't the only one who make this short of, you know, when they're short on funds. And it actually is one of my staples in my household, you know. But of course we let our kids know exactly why it's being made. and such like that. So this is another dish that is made with love for many reasons. All right. For the pot that we are using, I have a little bit too much in here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove half a cup. Okay. So I'm letting it toast. I have my little stove top on high. So after this, we are also going to strain it. I'm going to add balance to this just so I can have that nutty flavor. Oh, that's another reason why we are toasting this. Do you have to toast it? No. Like I said, there are many ways for you to make this, many methods depending on the cook, depending on your time, depending on a lot of different variations. So I want it to be slightly brown, and I want it to start developing that nutty aroma. Okay. All right, so I'm going to leave it alone and not disturb it. I'm going to put everything back, and we will be back shortly. But you have to keep stirring it so that way it doesn't burn, and keep a close eye. So in the background right now, we have the water boiling like crazy right now. So we have the water boiling. I'm starting to smell the cinnamon in it, and it's starting to brown up. Pretty soon I'm going to transfer it back on this end so you guys can see exactly what I am talking about. Okay, let's continue to stir this. Like, as I stir it around, you will see, actually it's starting now. See the brown section is starting to brown up. Okay. If your children are anything like mine, when they know that you're making labouyi, the first thing they usually run and say, "Ooh, labouyi." So as I turn it, you'll see the brown, which is exactly what you want. That's what's going to develop that nice and nutty texture. Not texture, I meant to say flavor. All right. So now that it's starting to brown, I'm going to add a half a tablespoon. I'm sorry, I'm not going to add half a tablespoon. That'll be too much. Let's do 1 teaspoon of balance. Okay. Look at that. I'm starting to smell it. The balance smells so good in here already. It's starting to toast because I'm moving it around. It's starting to brown up. The flour is browning up. You know, just because you can't consume a dish every single day doesn't mean that you should not make it with love. And no matter how much your meal may cost or whoever it is that you're making it for, you should always, always give it your all. I tell my children to respect the food and the food will respect them back. That's what I tell them. Look at that. It smells good, guys. Alright. So because I'm making this on a countertop stove, so I have my temperature all the way to the max. So if you were to make this on the actual stove, you would do yours at medium. Keep your heat level to medium, okay? That's usually a safe bet. Alright, see that? It's browning. You see that as I turn it? Okay. We're almost to the point where we will need to start straining it. Do you have to strain it? No, it's just, I like straining it because it gives you like a silky texture to your labouyi. So, and then when it comes to labouyi, especially like Labouyi Farine, Labouyi Mayi, those types, they make, they get lumpy quickly, so you have to move fast. Alright, and you don't have to cook your labouyi for hours on. No more than half an hour, you should be done. Okay. And then to reheat this, you can just reheat it in the microwave the next day. Once you make this today or whenever you decide to make it, it will keep in the refrigerator for up to 5 days. Just make sure that you have it in a airtight container. Okay, so now I'm starting to smell the balance. So this is my indication that I am done. And I can start straining this because I don't want my farine to burn. Okay? So be right back. Get this. Okay, so we have our water boiling. We started off with 4 cups of water. Now the water has reduced some, which is expected, but we're going to add more later on, and we're also going to add the evaporated milk. This is the consistency. Well, I'm sorry, not the consistency, but this is the color that you are looking for. Okay, nice and rich and brown. Okay. So at this point, this is the time where you would want to turn your heat down to medium low while you strain your farine. Okay. All right. Let's get ready to strain the farine, and you guys will see the texture and the color. All right, babe, you ready? Okay. So to some people, Labouyi has the same or has similar consistency as a pancake batter. That's the best way we can describe it to you. But tastes amazing. It's always good to use a non-stick pan. That way it helps with everything else being stuck to the bottom. All right, so we're going to strain this, sift this. Oops. There you go. This will help reduce the lumps and all the little tiboule, which is basically little lumps. And you're going to make a mess. Hopefully not much of a mess as I'm making. Alright, see? Alright, these are the little lumps that we have, so we don't need to worry about that. And just set this aside. And let's wipe this off. Okay, so we are almost done. Can you believe that we are almost done with our labouyi? Easy peasy, right? So to our labouyi, we are going to do it a little bit differently. We're going to add, at this point you have two choices. You can either add the water in it, stir it, or you can add the milk, which is what I'm going to do. And I am using 12 fluid ounce evaporated milk. Shake it well. Wash the top first and shake it well. So we're going to add our let. And while you are adding the milk, stir it so that way it doesn't clump up on you. Okay? Remember what I said to you guys, there are many ways to make this, depending on the cook, depending on the person. But the ending dish is still going to be amazing. Okay? What you could do also, you could add water instead of the milk right now, and then just add the milk later. It's really up to you. So we're gonna add a little bit more water to this. All right, so starting off with 4 cups. I just added a cup of water. Going to stir it. The reason why I'm also doing it like this, I am trying to, because once you add it to the heat, the flour is going to start to cook. And this is exactly what makes it lump up. So not to say that it's not going to happen when we add it to the heat, it's just doing it like this, you reduce the possibilities of it lumping up too much for you. It becomes a little bit more manageable. Okay. Oh, laoui is starting to look like laoui, guys. I have my son in the background, so he's looking at me, thinking about how funny his mom is. All right, you see the lumps? So I'm trying to reduce that as much as possible. Because you want your laoui to be suave, just like you, and silky, just like you. Alrighty. So we just added 1 more cup of water to this. After we are done, we're going to see if we need to add more or more milk. So here's the thing. You're probably wondering, is this how I usually make it? The answer is no. I'm showing you how I would make it if I have time. I will go through all these extra steps. If I didn't have time, what I would have done is I would have toasted the flour in the same pot or saucepan that I am going to make the laoui in. And then I would add the water. I would add the cannelle, which is a cinnamon. I would add that in and just build on the flavor and allow everything to cook together. That's how I would have done it. I am making it like this just in case if you want to go the extra mile, and if you're having even like a dinner party, because depending on where you're from, this could be something that you serve as a treat after a meal, like a light meal though, salad meal, okay, towards the end. So this could be that. Or if you're serving brunch during the holidays, because of the warm spices that are in here, this is another way. So you would prepare this elegantly. All right, so I think I have enough of the lumps out as possible. So we're going to add this to the water. I'm going to raise my heat more. So for you, you would raise your heat on the stovetop to medium high, or depending on the type of stove you have, because not all stoves are not created equally. So your temperature, if your temperature runs high, then keep your heat at medium. So I think I have enough of the lumps out, and I am going to slowly add my batter. Oh, so you see what I was talking about, that it looks like a pancake batter. I mean, like a very thin pancake batter, but basically that's the best way you can refer it, okay? And even doing it like this, I can still smell everything. It does smell warm. And if you are Haitian and you're trying to introduce this to your friends who are not Haitian, this is a good way to start. Invite them over for brunch, and you have some Labouyi Farine with some bread and have a great conversation. Or if you want to serve this for date night, you can put this in a nice bowl. You toast your bread nicely, and you have a rose on the side. You have some candles burning. Just romanticize it. And you can have great conversations about the future. Or if you just want to serve this to the kids and have them go to school and learn, you can wake up early, make it like this, and while they are eating it, and when they are done, they are ready to tackle the world and take over the world, because they're going to not be hungry and they're going to be open to learning and not get in trouble. All right, so let's transfer this, okay? Clearly, I just got into my own little world with all the possibilities. So, never mind. All right, guys.
So if you want to catch her in her own little world, come to the kitchen. Trust me. I catch her all the time.
All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to move the little stove top on this side. It's easier. Yeah, I do get in my own little world. I do love cooking. Cooking is love to me. I like feeding my family. Oops. What did I do? Okay, there you go. Thank you. All right, my loves. So we have the water. We're going to slowly add in our laoui mixture. Okay. So just so you know, we have everything else still in here. Okay, we have the cinnamon in here still. We have the bay leaves in here still, and we also have the lemon peel in here still. We have not added our essence. We haven't added our sugar yet. So we're going to build on the profile. All right. So let's go. Okay. Now, as you see, I am going to start slowly adding it in while I am stirring again to minimize lumps. And after we are done, then I'll see if we need to add more water and milk. All up, you see how silky, like doing it slowly, you don't have a lot of lumps. The only lumps that I'm seeing right now are the ones from when we were mixing it in the measuring cup. You see how it's starting to thicken up? That's what flour will do. Okay. See it? See it? Remember the pancake batter I told you guys about? This is another recipe that you can make for Valentine's Day, for Mother's Day, if you want to do something special for your significant other. All right. See it right here? So I'm going to add 1 more cup of water. Okay. So in total we added about 6 cups of water in here and 12 ounces of the evaporated milk. I am going to add a little bit more milk to this. All right. see the lumps, so you have to keep stirring it so it doesn't lump up. In the beginning stage is the most fragile. Okay, it's still too thick to my liking. I'm going to add the evaporated milk. I want it to be nice and creamy. Okay, so, and you can use store brand evaporated milk to help you save money. To be honest with you, this dish, you can make this for $15 or less. And this is actually going to be part of our $15 meal that we have on the website at savorythoughts.com. Okay. I am slowly adding in the milk. It's going to make it nice and rich. So we use 1.5 cup of flour in here and 1 teaspoon of the balance. For those of you who are now joining us, thank you so much. We are making Labouyi Farine. Alright, so now I'm going to add the essence. If you have any questions, please feel free to email us right now. We are currently having problems with our chat, so we won't be able to answer right away. So I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of essence and another teaspoon of essence, which is vanilla extract. Okay. And then I'm also going to start adding in the sugar. So someone asked how often we have to stir it. I suggest that you stir it often. You have to keep stirring it because you don't want it to lump up. In the beginning stage is the most fragile because that's where the farine, the flour, is starting to cook. So it will tense up and mold itself together. Okay. And once you see that you have a good consistency going, meaning that your heat is low, it's cooking at an even level, your flour is not lumping as quickly like the flour we have now. We have just a few from when we added the flour to the hot water. So just a few, but the others are basically from when we were mixing it. You will have lumps in it. The only way that you're not going to have lumps is if you take this and you strain it again, which some people have done. I hope that answered your question. All right. This consistency right now, the way it is, I am happy with it. So we added 2 cans of evaporated milk, which were 12 ounces each. We added 6 cups of water in total. We are a family of 5, so which means we are going to be good to go for today and tomorrow. All you need is about a cup full. All right, so let's add I'm going to turn the heat. So right now, see how it's starting to thick up again. So right now is when I will turn the heat down to low. Okay, and I'm going to add in the sugar. All right, so we're doing, that was a 1/4 cup. This is 1/2 cup of sugar right now. So here's the thing, question with the sugar. Sweeten it to your liking. That's the best way I can say it to you because we don't consume a lot of sugar here. So we try to under-sweeten it. But if you want to add more sugar to it, even after it's done, do so. Sweeten it to your liking. Look at that. That's gorgeous. Look at that, guys. Let's see. Okay, so I added, I added 1/4 cup of sugar. It's sweet enough for us, but if you want to add more, this recipe will leave you with the possibility to add more if needed. I am going to put this on the lowest temperature as I possibly can. Okay. Heat for my wonderful husband is actually good the way it is. I would add personally just a tablespoon or 2 more sugar. When in terms of days or time of day, you can serve this meal either for breakfast or you can serve it for supper. Our labouyi is done. We are done with the labouyi. This is the consistency that you want. You can make it thinner if you like. It will continue to thicken up, but it will not become hard solid, you know, rock solid. So, but this is actually the consistency that you want for your labouyi, okay? So I'm going to turn off the stove and I am going to toast the bread. We're going to transfer this on the other side. Any more questions, babe? All right. Keep it on low. You always want to make sure that if you're not serving it right away, you keep it on the lowest setting as possible because you don't want your labouyi to burn. Okay, so to this, you can use any kind of bread you like, but it's best with French bread. All right, you can toast your bread on the stovetop, or you can toast your bread in the toaster. All right, so I'm just gonna do a few slices. So get your non-stick pan, bring your heat up. Allow it to come to temperature. Let it come to temperature. So we're going to add some butter, nicely toasted. If you don't have butter, or if you don't want to use butter, I also like to use olive oil, or you can use grapeseed oil or avocado oil to toast your bread. All right. So I'm still waiting for it to come to temperature. Okay. All right, so we're going to take our bread, start toasting the bread, make it nice and golden on all sides. Let's go ahead and turn this. Nope, not quite ready yet. So let's look at the other one. Nope, not quite ready yet. So still toasting the bread, guys. Still toasting the bread. We are almost done. Babe, any questions, comments came in? Having problems with our chat, so we will get to the chat as soon as possible. For those of you who are joining us, thank you so much. Maya, welcome. Thank you so much. We are making Labouyi Farine, which is flour porridge with crusty bread. All right, so we're just going to do a couple more and we will serve our labouyi. I decided to add a little bit of olive oil to toast this bread to speed up the process and not use so much butter. Okay. All right, so we are done with our bread, nicely toasted. Ooh. I burn myself, guys. All right. So let's take this out the way. Thank you. Let's remove the stove top so we can start plating our labouyi. I'll take that. Thank you. Let's move everything out of here. Alright, so we have our bread. Okay. Let's clean up our plate. Make sure everything is nice and beautiful. We have our labouyi. Just remove from the stove. So you see this right here? Let me show it to you all. This is a favorite, a Haitian favorite, okay? You see this right here? We call this ma. It's so good. When you take it, you just take it out of your bowl and you just peel it up with either your spoon or your hand and you just put it in your mouth. It's so good. This right here. Let me get a spoon so I can show you. We call that ma. It's like, see it? That is the best. If you're Haitian and you know about this, oh, loloy, I'm telling you. All right, so put this aside. Okay, so we're going to add our porridge. Remember I said to you it will start to thicken up. You can also add more milk if you'd like to, but because we are serving this right away, this is the consistency that you want. Okay. If you want it thinner, just add a little bit more milk or water to it. And you may have to adjust the sugar if you're adding more liquid, but it can definitely dilute it more if you prefer. Okay. All right. The ma that I showed you guys, you also can get it when you're making hot chocolate. The Haitian hot chocolate is so good. It is. It actually is a great winter breakfast. Um, the way we just made it right now, like I said, it's good if you are serving it as a for breakfast or for the holidays. If you are making it for supper, it's really good for that. Um, if you want to make it for on the go, I would definitely suggest that you thin it out some more. If you are serving it to enjoy at home, this consistency is good. If you are making it for brunch with your girlfriends, you can definitely do so. Just, you can also serve it with some fruits to enjoy it, make it, a bit more healthier. There's so many ways that you can serve this dish. You can have it with bread and butter, or if you don't want to use butter, then you can use a clean oil. You can also serve it for date night, like an early date night. You could do that as well, especially if you are on a budget. This is perfect. Just have, some flowers on the side just to romanticize it. You could do that. Let's see. Otherwise, you could serve it to the kids before going to school. You could have it for yourself before going to work. But this is definitely a dish that's served either in the morning or at late in the evening for supper. Okay, so let's clean this up some. And our dish would not be complete if the man don't taste it, right? So clean up the plate. And we added our bellons to it, and that's on the website, savorythoughts.com. I'm going to sprinkle just a little bit of the bellons, just a little bit, just to make it cute. Just extra oomph. All right. That's it. Just a hint, because we already added enough balance to it, so we're already getting the warm spices that comes along with it. That's it, guys. So we're gonna have AJ come. He's going to test it out. Let us know it's not too sweet, because you don't want to overload on sugar, but you can definitely adjust the sugar level to your liking, and this will be on the blog very soon for you to enjoy and have the written recipe at your disposal. You have your spoon.
All right.
Go to town.
This is the favorite part. My favorite part.
If you need it sweeter, we can make it sweeter later.
I haven't tasted it yet. Gotta give me a second. And yes, we do pray before we eat. That is perfect.
Do you get the nutty flavor?
I have a whole lot of flavors. My one of the flavors that I'm getting is when you Gruyere fine.
So that
you
not
get that
burned, but not.
Yeah, you get that. Definitely makes a difference in the. Definitely makes a difference in And the taste, that
Yeah.
tastes really good. That book. So labouyi, it's something that I grew up eating, and that was usually for supper for me. And we will have it for supper, last meal of the day. And I was in love with labouyi. There's all kinds of
Yeah, we will
labouyi.
be making more Labouyi recipes soon.
Yes, we will be making more.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop eating it.
You didn't taste it with the bread.
So I'm not a fan of labouyi in bread. I
Mhm.
like to eat my labouyi just the way it is, except for labouyi avoine, which will be coming
Yeah.
soon.
Labouyi avoine is oatmeal.
Mhm.
Okay.
And it is not just your regular oatmeal and water. There's a whole to do with that.
Yes.
This is really good.
Thank you.
I'm gonna take it with me after this so I can enjoy it off camera. But yes, there's a whole stew of labouyi. Always loved it as a kid.
Yeah.
Got to find a woman that actually makes it, so I'm enjoying that. So can't complain about that in life.
So the way you would do it with the bread, you basically take your bread after toasting it or not, and just dip the bread in it and eat it.
Yeah, I didn't grow up eating bread with it. Like I said, it's usually a supper because you already had dinner, so you didn't want to overload yourself. And like my wife said earlier on in the beginning, it's flour, it's sugar. This is not something you're gonna look at for nutritional values, but it is full of great flavors in its substance. So
Yeah. Again, this is one of those dishes that you want to make if you are short on funds, if you are limited on funds, and then if you want something quick, but you don't want to
it tastes
spend
good.
and tasty, and you don't want to spend hours in the kitchen to make something.
Yes.
So
Mm.
this is definitely dear to my heart because
Yeah.
it's one of those dishes that we used to make
Oh, I
when we were limited.
I thought you were gonna say it's dear to your heart because your husband loves it so much.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Mm.
So while AJ sits here and eat the labouyi,
Childhood memories. I love it. Supper at night.
all
Dad,
right,
we had labouyi banane, avoine, labouyi farine maïs, which is
the
cornmeal.
cornmeal, yes.
I mean, there's a bunch that we make porridge out of.
Right.
So.
But on the website, we have the one for the banane, which is the plantain. So just go to the website, savorythoughts.com. On the search section, just type in plantain porridge, and it will come up for you. So another thing is, we are going to have this on the website pretty soon, so that way you can have the written recipe, as I stated before. There are many ways you can make this. If you are Haitian, this is another way for you to make this. You can romanticize it as much as you want to. You can serve it for various reasons. It doesn't have to stay and be served for breakfast or supper as is. The whole point of us showing you how to make it like this is to show that there are other possibilities and there are other ways that you can enjoy a simple meal but make it feel like you're eating something that's luxurious. Okay? So, guys, thank you so much for spending your Sunday afternoon with us. We are definitely